Hi, my name's Lily Cruz, and I'm here with my friend.
Amaya Williams.
And we're going to walk through what Disney University by Doug Lipp talks about in Lesson 2 as far as capturing hearts and minds of their audience and going a step further than just providing a service, but actually providing an experience. And then, as we touch on some of the main points, we're going to contrast those with Amaya's experience working at Taco Bell this summer and what it was like with their management and training and how that compares to what Disney University outlines for us as to what that should look like. So to start off with the chapter, Van France has a quote that says, "A maxim of the movie industry is that it takes a happy crew to produce a happy show." So I think it's really cool how we can look at how important training is, and that if you have well-equipped, happy workers, you're going to therefore have a successful environment and experience for the people that come into your business. And I think Disney is a really good example of that. So, Maya, I was wondering if you could think of an equivalent to what Taco Bell's Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck is. So if you think of Mickey Mouse or Donald Duck being like Disney's claim to fame, what would you say Taco Bell's claim to fame is?
Okay, so Taco Bell's claim to fame is definitely on Sundays. They have their 99-cent tacos. Everyone comes and floods Taco Bell because they have free tacos. And they also have dollar sweet teas, and then everyone loves to come. So I think that is a staple point for Taco Bell. But also they also do each month they bring out these special, I don't know, menu items. So people love the nacho fries, the nacho boxes. So people love just to come for the new special they have.
That's a really good example. And would you say, could you give me an idea of what your training looks like?
Yeah, okay. So first for training, you have to go through a week full of just video presentations. So you'd watch a video and explain how to make the food, how to use a cash register, how to communicate with customers, and they have to take a test at the end. So that's an entire week full because you have to learn how to make every single food item, how to ring up every food when they want to add something, want to put sauce on it, or remove something from there. So you have to do that. Okay. So that takes a really long time. And then after you're done with the video portion, they test you the next day in real life
situations.
Immediately after, yeah.
Wow.
So it's very nerve-wracking because you hope that you can remember everything from the video, but you're not really paying attention. So then when you get thrown into that situation, it's very scary.
So how long has your training experience, did you say?
It's gonna be 2 to 3 days.
Okay.
And then on the last day is when you do actual people interactions. Then you do an interaction from the drive-thru, then the front, and then you get put on the food line.
And what happens if you don't pass the test the day after?
You have to take it again.
Did you pass the test right?
Yeah, I did.
Good job. Do you think that the training, therefore, does a good job of translating their values, or do you feel like it's much more just task and skill oriented?
I think it's more task and skill oriented. So they want you to get the job done because they need more people to work.
Right.
So I don't think they value you. They just want you to get the job done, so they need you.
So would you be able to even identify what you think Taco Bell's main values are for their employees?
No.
So if you were going to suggest they improve that, what would you maybe suggest they focus on?
I think valuing their employees because they just see them as employees and actual people. Right. So they just demand a lot from them, don't really tend to their personal needs, I guess you can say. Yeah. So they're just workers and not humans at that point. So I think they need to value their employees because they can easily quit.
Right.
And leave and go somewhere else that benefits them more. So I think that's important.
And then do you think, I guess we see Disney, I think, does a really good job of that, where they cater to their employees and value them. So then therefore, I feel like they work harder, they buy into the process, they translate those values into how they treat their customers. So do you think Taco Bell as an organization would be more successful if they had employees that were taken care of? Because then they would maybe be more led to take care of the customers.
For sure, yeah. Because once, if your employees feel are cared by their head people, then they want to work harder and be nice to the customers and actually do their job.
Right.
Just like Disney does. Everyone that I know people personally who have worked there and they love the job. They want to keep coming back every year because it was just that good. But I know also people from Taco Bell who are I was here, I'm never going back. I'm one of those people. It was an experience. Right. I learned a lot, but I'm never gonna go back.
Yeah, and then word of mouth travels fast. So
exactly.
You have your friends telling you work at Disney, and then you want to work at some place like that versus. Okay, thank you. That is a really good point. Do you think your management is involved well in your training process in your role there, or is management more separate and like disconnected?
At the beginning, like the video training part, they weren't involved because it's really easy. But
Right.
once you get to like the actual interacting with people and learning how to do those things, they're really involved because they help you
Yeah.
like figure it out. And like it's okay if you make a mistake because they know it's your first day on the job, so they'll help you out a little bit. So I
Mhm.
think that's good. But like once you get used to it, then they just like disappear and help you. That they won't help you at all, really.
Do you feel comfortable approaching your management if you had a question, or is that kind of intimidating or something you don't want to do?
No, our managers are pretty nice
Okay,
there.
that's good.
They were very friendly, and we always used to interact, especially during break times, and like we get to know them like less as a manager, but more of like a equal, I guess you can say.
That's good. So
Yeah.
you feel like you do have a good relationship with your management?
Yeah.
Um, would you say that there's a culture of learning and training, or would you say that like they struggle in creating that culture or encouraging you to continue to learn and continue to become a better employee, or is it more like you check the box and now?
They usually check the box, but they only start to value or like care a lot about your performance at the job when like people come through and like they actually keep the receipts and the surveys and they see how like bad their people are during the surveys and they like get on you after that.
Okay.
But if they don't have that problem, then they don't say anything at all.
You do your
Yeah.
own thing. Okay, that makes sense. Do you have a liaison between you and the manager? Are there several levels, or is it just?
Yeah, so there's like the bottom level, which are like the people who like barely have been there. Then there's a second level of like trainers, so they're like people who've been there for like a couple months and they train the new people. And then there are higher people who are not the managers, but they're like below the managers. And then there's the managers, and then the executives. So
Okay,
it's a lot of
so
levels.
there is like a chain.
Yeah.
And do you feel like the communication throughout is positive and well done, or do you think there's a lot of or lack of communication that happens?
I think there is the connection between like the bottom people from like the bottom to the top of the managers are good, but the managers to the executives, like the higher up people are not really good, which frustrates the managers and like brings it on to everybody else.
Okay, so then they kind of project that onto their employees,
Exactly.
even if they do have a good relationship.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think that it's important to market not just your items, or in Taco Bell's case, not just their food, but also is there like an experience you think Taco Bell could be offering that they're not, or do you think there is an experience that they try to offer?
I think Taco Bell just does a really good job of advertising the food that they have and not just the employees.
Right.
I think like other companies, I see like they advertise their food, but they also like give a shout out to like their employees and show how they interact in the workforce. Yeah. I don't think Taco Bell does that at all.
Okay.
They just show their food and then hope people want to come for the food and not for the people.
Regardless of how great their service is.
Yeah, their service could be terrible, but they won't show that or like care to like make it seem like they have good service. They just want the food to be presentable and like everything else shouldn't matter basically.
Okay, so if you could tell Taco Bell one thing right now, as just your last final go around, what would you tell them?
What would I tell? Oh, there's so much. I don't know. I just think that they need to do a better job of focusing on customer service.
Okay.
Because, like, they let their employees talk to customers however they want and, like, don't really care about that consequence that happen after that until they get a bad review. So I think that they should, like, mostly focus on customer service and the food and the goodness of the establishment would come after that.
Right.
So I think that that's huge because everything else was good, but the customer service was just terrible. Depending on the customers. I mean, not customers, but the employees that were working.
That makes sense because you would say that what they're doing well is the product. And so therefore they maybe need to shift a little focus off of that on the things they're not doing so well, and then they'd be successful all around.
Exactly.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Amaya. This was really beneficial.